Thank you, Donald. This morning I was sitting in my bathroom in Portsmouth, watching a small creature abseiling down the wall. Suddenly it stopped, fixed me with a steely glaze and said, "Leave my web alone. Hey, I'm talking to you. I'm the eight-legged architect of an organic fishing net. That's more than you can do. I didn't need needles, power tools, nails, screws or glue. Leave it alone, I'm hungry. Spiders have rights too." We may not have progressed to invent bombs, bullets, feather dusters, rolled up newspapers or many other weapons of crass destruction. But we've been here far longer than you in the evolutionary scheme of things, busy constructing intricate traps out of silky strings. A woven piece of work for you to gaze upon in awe when the light of the morning sun plays on the dew that clings. Useful beauty jewelled with dew. Yeah, we know how to make a rhyme, and spiders have rights too. You want your world overrun by flies? Then go ahead, destroy my web. Right, now be a grateful, submissive human. Watch where thou treads. Us arachnids don't want anarchy, just to be left alone. Spinning webs and catching flies, that's what we do. I hope you consider carefully what I've just said, and tell your friends, and your work colleagues, and the audience at the Keep in Guildford, spiders have rights too. A teacher, and I'd like to say, before I begin, I'd like to state that the names of the two twin brothers in this are actually their names. I haven't made them up for the benefit of a rhyme. A teacher. After the rhyme learning of the alphabet, a succession of white cards followed. They were carefully cut into oblong shapes, neatly marker penned with a collection of letters that formed words. They were raised in front of me. First one, then two, then three, shapes and sounds, and letters memorised, syllables stumbled over, words pronounced, sentences formed. Spoken, encouraged, eagerly flowing. This boy was being taught to read half a century ago. I am one of thousands whose appreciation of reading and writing that teacher coaxed into being. And despite retiring from full-time work nearly 20 years ago, she still teaches back at the infant school 2 mornings a week. Recently, on a Saturday in the centre of town, a man greets her. She recognises Dwayne, who along with his twin brother Wayne, she once taught. "Are you still teaching?" he inquired. "Well, actually," she replied, "I'm retired." To which he responded, "They shouldn't allow people like you to retire." The daughter of a once hijacked pilot starts at school. Although she cannot speak a word of English, the teacher helps her through the maze. Eventually, she returns to her native land. Years later, the teacher is approached by a man who, as he speaks, sheds tears. He tells her that his daughter is now a professor of architecture in the University of Seoul, Korea. I read my own work. As I tidy and type my scribble notes onto the screen, aspiring to take them from the page, read on the stage, I have regularly helped children, degree-holding friends and fellow worker mates with the use of words, when upon my opinion is called, passing some of the teaching I have received along, hopefully with the patience, enthusiasm that within me the knowledge was installed. I read to be instructed. I read to learn. Reading is not only a necessity. Reading is a pastime that should be allowed. I read to make sense of this chaotic, contradictory world. And when I want to shut out our often unpoetic planet, I read for fun. I'm reading now. Thank you for teaching me, Mum. My mum went to see T.S. Eliot read The Wasteland at Westminster Abbey. And I said, what was he like compared to me? And she said, he was very serious, and left it at that. But she only ever saw T.S. Eliot read once. She's seen me read about 7 times. And she loves this poem, despite the fact she's only ever been, she's a veteran, her whole life only ever having one hangover, my mum. My favourite liquid. Oh, and it appears in this book, which is edited by Janice over there. And I'd like to thank her and Donald for the tireless work they do for us poets. This confessional is about changing my choice of indulgences. My favourite liquid. Alcohol used to be my favourite liquid, and to mouth it would help me to express. But now I favour a liquid that does not lead me to indulge to embarrassing excess. My now favourite liquid is a more graceful communicator. It playfully records my ideas as I think. It helps me to remember instead of wanting to forget. I celebrate, not commiserate, with ink. Didn't waste your early teenage years reading music papers. May not know about the bands mentioned in this next suburban ballad. But those bands' names do make for good rhymes. And thanks to the power of TV advertising, you can now see the punk band The Ramones song can be regularly heard on TV. Indeed, my friend's daughter at the moment, Eliza, runs around the house singing, "Hey ho, let's go." But it wasn't like that back in 1978 when I was still at school and I bunked off with a punk girl. Another lunchtime almost done, standing alone in the playground, grey tarmac decorated with splats of dirty chewing gum. Football bores me, no one interesting around, when Scary Sarah came up to me and said, "I've had enough of this place. I hate these clones. I've got to get away. Do you want to come back with me and listen to the Ramones?" In their best gruff and pissed off voice I said, "Yeah, all right." Following behind her, I felt a stirring in my terraline trousers. I probably didn't I bumped off with a punk girl. As we walked to her parents' posher than I had imagined house, I worried she might know my favourite band were Paul McCartney's Wings. But I'll pretend to be a punk if it means I can get into her blouse. But she's spiky, scary Sarah, and I'm just an innocent, spotty, sweaty, blazing mouse. As she slouched up the flower-bordered driveway, she said, "The Jam don't dress right, but they've got the attitude. I respect the way punk music questions and challenges the views of society. I'm going to put that in the work I make for my fine art degree." I bunked off with a punk girl. There were horses parading across the wallpaper under the posters on the walls of her bedroom, which didn't smell of fags, booze and vomit, but the scent of tweed by Lomthoric, I think. Or was it Charlie perfume? Would both our heads be sharing one of those Winciat-covered pillows? I wondered as she put on the single of My Baby Does Good Sculptures by Louis Lowe's. Yeah, I bunked off with a punk girl. When she went to the loo, I opened her wardrobe door. Hanging around in there weren't many of the sorts of clothes favoured by polystyrene Captain Sensible or Johnny Rotten. I spied her neatly placed fluffy slippers at the bottom. Leaning behind a pair of what certainly did not look like Susie Sue's shoes were LPs by Alan Ross Stewart. And 10cc. She came back with 2 cups of tea and a couple of dry cakes she referred to as scones. Not the sort of teenage kicks I'll bet envisioned by the John Peel champion undertones. We sat on her bed listening to records. Some were brilliant, some I sulkily thought were shit. As they played, I thought about the cred I'd have and what I would answer when the boys at school asked, "Boy, did you get a bit?" I bumped off with a punk girl. "You'll have to go," she said. "Before my mum gets home, I have to walk the dog." And so I left, my head buzzing with simple but sincere songs, but no naively anticipated snog. The day after I bunked off with a punk girl, I got a bollocking at registration, and my parents were sent a letter. My mum sighed, "An afternoon, son, that's time you can't afford to waste." My dad said, "Jesus, you know a girl, one who's a punk?" Well, I hope she improves your blooming awful music taste. Thank you all for listening.